what are just some of the cool things that you've done, people that you've met, places that you've gone?
I can't even begin to talk about that because there's just so much. One of the most memorable appearances that I've done was about a month after I won. I judged the Miss Black North Carolina USA pageant, and I surprised the contestants and showed up, and they had no idea that I was coming. And to see that when I entered into the room, they came up to me and were telling me about how my story inspired them, and I had competed 4 times, and how it gave them hope that their dream could come true. And that was very humbling for me. So that was a great appearance.
Tell me a little bit about your platform and why it's important to you.
Well, my platform is fighting back against the bullying epidemic, and I started a campaign called Reach for More, Be Better Than Average, and I started that because I was bullied all 4 years of high school, and even as an adult, I remember how it made me feel. I questioned everything about myself, and I didn't have any self-confidence. But as Miss North Carolina, I've been using my voice to fight back against that, and I feel like I am the voice for kids who can't speak up for themselves or don't have the courage to do so, and that's, you know, the reason I'm so passionate about this, and I even hope to take that to the next level as Miss USA.
So what are your recommendations, I guess? I mean, because clearly you said you've gone through that, but here you are doing big things. So clearly what people say and what people do and what they think about you doesn't really matter. So what are your recommendations to people that are dealing with that?
I think it's important that you communicate with someone. It's really hard when you're having to go through this alone. So if you feel like you can't talk to your parents, find a friend or find a counselor, someone that you can truly confide in and express your feelings to. Number 2, you have to be very, very strong-willed to not allow those words to affect you. So if someone is saying something to you and it really is causing you to doubt yourself, don't believe it. You know your abilities and who you are as a person. More than likely you've come from a very good home and you've got that solid foundation. You know someone loves you. So just believe in yourself. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but that's what helped me to get through it, because I knew that what these people were saying about me didn't matter. They don't pay my bills. They weren't making sure that I was getting everything that I needed to be successful. Going into the school, speaking to the students, and seeing the reaction that the young kids have when they're listening to me talk, and they're blown away by when I tell them, you know, I was bullied. They're like, no way, you weren't bullied, Miss North Carolina. You're Miss North Carolina. And I'm like, well, at 17, I wasn't. I was just Ashley.
Right.
And I had one girl even write me, and she said, you're the reason I didn't commit suicide. And
wow.
I was just overwhelmed with joy and emotion. And that's when I realized I'd done my job, is when I have a young girl who her whole outlook on life has changed. And that's what this is really all about to me. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. So me winning a title was never really about me just being Miss North Carolina, but I've always looked at it as when I won, we all did, because I knew I had a vision about what I wanted to do, and I feel like I've done a good job of making sure that people are aware of the bullying epidemic and just being a better person in general and giving back to the community, because that's the most important thing.